All right, G1s, what's going on? It is Stuttering Craig and Jose El Mexicano. So, I guess it's time. I guess it's about that time to start talking. As you know, and as you can tell, Handsome Tom is no longer with ScrewAttack anymore. Jose, I'm just going to talk, and if you have any questions throughout this, you can kind of be the voice of the G1 here, and if you have questions throughout it, feel free to throw them at me, because cool. I know there's lots of questions, and I want to be honest about them, and I want to be, very upfront about these things. So, yeah, Handsome Tom is no longer with ScrewAttack anymore. He posted on the forums on last Friday night that he's no longer part of ScrewAttack, and he and Liz have removed themselves and taken a step back. There's been a lot of things said and a lot of judgment passed in the last few days about ScrewAttack. A lot of people, see this as the demise or whatever about ScrewAttack, and so I wanted to address this. I know a lot of people have been waiting for my comments on this. So I'm going to read off just a little bit, just a little prepared statement before I kind of start talking as Craig. This is not Stuttering Craig. This is Craig, talking. So let me just start off by saying the last few weeks have been very trying for me, both personally and professionally. It's amazing to see who is and who isn't your friends during tough times. I've watched people turn their backs on me and badmouth me and try to destroy my personal character, which they can't and won't do, all without hearing a single word from me, passing judgment before they know anything about the situation. And to me, that's just sad. Even with all these people making up their own mind about me, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of questions about the situation. And for those of you who have shown patience, I want to be upfront and honest with you about why Handsome Tom is no longer with ScrewAttack. Now, before I go any further, this was about business. It was not personal at all. I know a lot of you don't think of ScrewAttack as a business, but I hate to break the news to you, it is. We're not owned by a multi-million-dollar company. It's just a few guys creating some badass videos that people just happen to like. And we're very fortunate to be in the position that we're in, mostly because of the G1 community and their continued belief in what ScrewAttack's all about: video games and fun. And one of ScrewAttack's best traits is that we're honest, sometimes to a fault. Just ask any PS3 fan, But just like you'd see in any of our videos or on side scrollers, we'll tell you how it is, just like I'm going to right now. So I guess initially when ScrewAttack started out, Tom and I had this great envision, this thing. ScrewAttack was initially supposed to be a partnership. It was supposed to be, Craig and Tom with one goal in mind, doing something that we love and we're all about, video games, and making this thing happen. And as we grew and developed, things started to become a little more clear about how things were going to run and go, and things were going to happen. Unfortunately, things weren't getting done as a partnership, and it was the burden of starting a business, isn't an easy thing to do, let alone by one person. And as we continued to grow and things started to come in, it was obvious that Tom wanted to be a part of the company, but didn't necessarily know how to contribute in the growth of ScrewAttack, where his time was devoted to other things, and things just ultimately, weren't getting done. So as the initial plan was for ScrewAttack to be a partnership, as we started to make strides, it was obvious to me and other people involved directly with ScrewAttack that it wasn't a partnership from a growth standpoint. So ultimately, I went and registered the company by myself after being persuaded by others close to the company at the time, directly involved. And it wasn't an easy decision to make. It wasn't easy at all. But up to that point, all the concepts and shows, and and all the different things, the launch line for charity, and all these things, they were, coming from my brain and ultimately being developed by me, and really kind of trying to help ScrewAttack grow. And for me personally, I didn't see enough initiative to make things happen from Tom. Now, I'm not saying, please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Tom didn't contribute to ScrewAttack. He was a very integral part in terms of his on-air personality. But for a business to grow, it just doesn't happen, and things need to be initiated. And we needed that. We need that at ScrewAttack. We need somebody to go out and take the initiative and really, develop things. And so we have things for our community. We have opportunities for us to grow and be seen. And it was obvious to me that wasn't going to happen. Now, things just weren't getting done as we get started, and there were just different opinions on what was meant to contribute to ScrewAttack. In terms of I was out making phone calls, trying to get us opportunities like the launch line for charity, like with game trailers and et cetera, et cetera. And while Tom was doing things, I was building, and the effort wasn't put forth in the proper areas to really kind of help continue, ScrewAttack to grow. But the bottom line is that this is what we do for a living. We're very fortunate, and you have to work, for what you want. ScrewAttack is a freak of nature, and the odds of us making it, as a good friend told me, were 1,000,000 to 1. We make videos on the internet about video games. Like, if you think about that, people say, how do you make a living doing that? We're very fortunate to be able to do that, And for us to continue to do that, there needs to be more. It needs to be more than just making videos. It needs to keep bringing and keep being fresh and not just maintaining things, but growing things on ScrewAttack. Tom talked, a while. We talked a while ago, and he wanted to know what was going on. He said, what's the deal? I want part of the company. And at the time, I told him essentially the exact same thing I'm telling you guys right now. I needed to see more. I needed to see more initiative. I needed to see it, and his response was, okay, we'll just wait and see. And over the next year or so, things continued to we continued to grow and make other opportunities for ourselves, and develop concepts like like the Iron Man of gaming, which was something that had been in my mind for a long time, and the SAGI awards and all these little things, they don't just happen. There's a lot of planning behind them and effort that goes into them. And after the first Iron Man of gaming, there was a lot of responsibility to where me personally, I mean, I get emails saying we could just hear it in your voice, you're tired, and yeah, honestly, I'm real tired. I'm not tired of ScrewAttack, because ScrewAttack's my passion. It's what I do. It's what I think about when I wake up in the morning. It's what I think about when I go to bed at night. But I'm physically tired because I spend so many hours a day working on ScrewAttack. Literally waking up in the morning and until I go to bed at night. And yes, my personal relationships with my friends and family, they suffer because of ScrewAttack directly. It sucks, but ultimately, it goes back to, this is what we do. This is what we do to make a living, and you have to work to get what you want. And we're very fortunate to be in our position.